Thank you for listening. A list of content warnings can be found in the episode description. Take care. Enjoy the show. Despite the relative luxury of your Godsman's suite, you once again find little respite in sleep. The list of gnawing questions and your growing uncertainty fills you with a dread that no plush pillow or fine linen could ease. Your companions at least seem content with this change of locale, and not wanting to disturb their rest, you quietly close the chamber door behind you and begin to wander about the faction halls. There is a difference in the quality of the noise at this hour. Still full of life, but fewer voices calling out. A deliberate steadiness of the hammer strikes, the narrowed concentration of those who keep the less sociable hours. You slip into one of the magical ateliers, eager for a distraction from your thoughts, and see a bushy-haired man, clad in the height of fashion, if you were to consider that fashion had died over 50 years ago. His clothing is tattered and ancient, and looks to fall somewhere between a player's costume and an urchin's rags. He doesn't glance up as you enter, his focus wholly trained on some small contraption. You cannot see what it is, and as soon as you get his attention, he scrambles to cover it with his notes, as if afraid you'd rob it through sight alone. He looks a little wild-eyed and confused. Then, blinking erratically, begins searching your face, scrutinizing you like some puzzle. After a moment, he lets out a short bark of laughter.
So, it's you. Finally.
What? Who are you?
I'm Niall Xander, great-great-grandson of the Artificer Zero Xander, engineer, dreamer, creator. And I have finished his work, the work that you commissioned, the Dream Builder. Are you ready to claim the use of it now?
Right. A dream builder. What is that?
Not many would cast the memory of such an order aside. But it has been many years, I suppose. The Dream Builder is both machine and ritual. It is a state of mind and a construct of steam and blood. It grants dreams to those who enter its confines. It was built for you, and it has been waiting. Are you ready to finish it off? Decades it's been kept for your return.
And you're certain it was built for me?
Aye. My great-grandfather, Zeno Xander, set your face in stone so that we would know. Our family completed your commission because we said we would, and now, here you are.
Do you still have this stone?
No. It was stolen from me a year ago. I saw only a shadow flitting away. It was the only item taken from my home. I have no idea who'd take it, but it doesn't matter. I'd memorized the features.
All right. What do you need from me to finish this?
What I need is a piece of your skin, immersed in your blood, so the machine can familiarize itself with your physical essence. It must be held in a blue-green bottle to symbolize the dream sea on which you will float.
Flesh and blood. I've given enough of that lately. Answer a question for me first.
What would you like to know?
This doesn't sound like any normal craft. What do you do here?
Normal? What is normal? But the reality you have become accustomed to. What I do is shape that reality. I am the engineer of all engineers. I studied under the Tanari smith Kazan, who tempered words on a forge of hate, quenched them in the trough of despair, and sent them forth to slaughter stupidity. Elements of phrases, caustic words were brought to him, and he created weapons of terrifying magnitudes. Weapons that would lay an enemy low and destroy the malformed ideas of others. I'm sure you've seen his work.
Sounds impressive. So what? You create evil weapons here?
Not at all. My forge is not built on hate, but on understanding. I have also studied under the Archon artisan, Terrasifirier, who created the healing touch of a gentle thought. Ideas that would still any fiendish spitting heart. They work their will with love and devotion. My work blends the two masters together, as all mortal psyches blend elements of the demonic and the sublime.
I see. So, flesh and blood.
Aye, and the bottle.
Planescape Torment, the unofficial audio series. A narrative let's play adapted and produced by RevocerGM. Combining in-game audio with additional voice acting through dialogue and descriptions to improve your listening experience. Rediscover the amazing story of the 1999 cult classic isometric video game, Planescape Torment, like you've never heard before. Day 14, hour 6 before peak. I've joined the Guardsmen, the Seekers of the Mind's Eye, whatever that means. I don't know. The idea that we could better ourselves through experience and understanding feels appropriate enough, even if the thought of so many people aiming to bend the multiverse to their will makes me sick. Whatever it means, it felt good to work towards something tangible. But all that is not getting me any closer to finding this night hag Ravel. Maybe that was the point. I've felt no memories stirred her name, but there is something. A tightness, maybe. Perhaps using this dream builder will bring me answers. After gathering your companions, you leave the foundry and head back out into the busyness of the lower ward. It seems that in order to procure this vial of flesh and blood, you will need the expertise found in one of the apothecaries of the Clerks Ward. But before you leave, you do have one thing that you'd like to do first. Eager to get this over with, you march down the streets, your newly forged axe ready at hand.
What's got him all fired up? Yeah, Chief, where are you taking us?
We've got a fiend to deal with.
Well, break's over. Back to Barmy Town, I guess.
Jutting above the buildings around you, the jagged shape of the siege tower looms into your view. Like the broken tooth of some war god, its pocked surface looks like it has forced its way through millennia of violent conflict. Scorch marks and battle scars weave a brutal pattern about its surface, and a miasma of rusty fume surrounds the base, bellowing from vents down its side. The whole street around it stinks of burnt hair and rotten eggs, a smell that intensifies as you approach and see a creature beneath it, huffing up the smoke, savoring its aroma like a fine wine. This devil must be Grossuk, the Abishai that Sebastian had sent you to deal with. 4 clawed feet, leathery wings, and a draconian head, the creature stands upright on its hind legs, balancing with its prehensile tail. As you approach, its eyes narrow to slits, and it begins to hiss, its snake-like body contorting in a muscular spasm as it turns to face you. Greetings! The air around the creature begins to radiate heat, and its scales gleam, deepening to a vile shade of green.
Go. Grossuk no talk. Told wait.
It glares at you as its tail lashes back and forth. Grossuk, eh? I think I have some business with you. Every muscle on the creature seems to tense as it reaches out at you, then stops, hatred dripping from its eyes.
Grossuk no talk. You lucky human. You go while still lucky. You stay. Grossuk shred.
Not so lucky it would seem. Sebastian sent me. The creature relaxes quite a bit, and the air grows cooler. It rotates its clawed hand and dips its snout in a gesture of peace.
Give Grosuk information.
What information would that be?
No question. Give Grosuk information or die. Grosuk then take information from what's left of your body.
I need to know which piece of information is for you. I run errands intended for so many people, you must understand. It glares at you for a moment, then gestures at the tower above.
Siege tower. Oh, get inside. Sebastian say he divine the way.
Grosuk takes a step toward you and holds out his hand as a perfect visage of the mage flickers above his palm.
Now give!
Oh, well, that information. I'm sorry, Sebastian wanted to deliver that one in person. He'll be along soon.
No! Grosuk think you lie. Give information now. Grosuk kill quick, not slow. Not give. Grosuk take time. Remove your insides. Let you watch.
It opens its mouth to reveal several rows of razor-sharp teeth. Fine. Sebastian sent me to kill you anyway. At that, the creature's body flickers and contorts, seemingly splitting into several blurred forms that shift around the alley. With axe in hand, you slice a shimmering streak through one, but carve nothing but air.
Confused. My turn.
Suddenly, a barrage of strikes slash towards you. You try to parry each one, axe nimble in your hand, but its claws pass through your guard like mist, dissipating upon your chest, until one finally gouges at your side, shredding your stomach and making you retch. Clenching through the pain, you focus on the blurred movements as the beast darts about. You notice a slight smirk, and finding your true target, sweep your axe towards its grin. But as you do, two bright blades parry your strike, and the mirage fades, revealing Anna bracing from the force of your blow. You turn, just as another image of Anna pounces onto your chest and drags her steel knives across your skin. Real this time, blood sprouting from her blades. Dakon whips his glaive through the air, and it wraps about her as you push yourself away. Looking up, suddenly the alley is filled with dozens of figures. Maud, Anna, Dakon, several of each, and all leering at you, tongues lolling like dogs. You grip the spilling gore dripping from your belly, and awakened by your touch, it writhes in your hand. You cast the squirming viscera to the ground, and black, vine-like tendrils spread about, twisting up and around each of the figures. Some fade in an instant, others thrash about as the branches coil about them. But as you had hoped, the illusions fade, and standing before you, choked by thorny briars, is Grosuk. You raise your axe and let the executing strike fall. Black ichor splatters up your face as the devil is decimated in one fatal blow. Right. Everyone okay?
I'm fine.
Yeah, Chief.
Get this stuff off me? What is it?
Just a moment. The wound seals on your stomach, and the twisting vines wither to ash. Sorry. I had to do something.
Oh, sure. You just had to pick a fight with the devil. You had no choice, did you?
You can see in her face a mixture of both the fury and the shame at what had just happened. She avoids your eyes, then spits and ducks her head. Look, I'm sorry. It's over. Chief, let's get out of here. I don't like the feel of this place. There is something in the air around this tower, but to you, it's not entirely unpleasant. A potency that makes you feel like you could pummel through the alley walls with nothing but bare fists. You look up and see a drawbridge yawning open to some glowing chamber within, beckoning you to enter. You recall your conversation with the boy Laszlo, and the idea that maybe the secret to getting in is to not want to get in. All right. Let's move on. Back by the foundry gates, you find Sebastian. He has set himself up a stall with a pitched tent and a small sign that reads,
Master of the Esoteric, for hire, inquiries inside.
As he notices your approach, he scrambles up from his folding chair and pats out the spent contents of a small wooden pipe and smiles at you.
Aha! Good day, Cutter. Have you completed your quest?
Yes, and I've come for what is due me.
Hold on. Let me see.
He reaches into his robes and removes a small crystal ball. He gazes into it, and his eyes flash with pale purple light, and after a moment, returns his attention to you.
So you have. Apologies. Never can be too careful.
Fine. So, you said you can help me with my scars.
I didn't I?
Sebastian pauses, and as he refills his pipe, begins to scan your features. Well, can you help or not?
One moment, please, Cutter. I'm considering how best I might help you.
He leans in, and without touching, starts tracing his index finger over the scar tissue on your face, neck, and shoulders.
Yes, that'll do it. Are you ready?
Sure. There is a slight ripple beneath your skin. The sensation isn't exactly pleasant, but there is no pain. It intensifies to a vigorous rumble as Sebastian chants some unintelligible incantation, and then suddenly stops. From the looks on your companions' faces, you imagine this display was quite disconcerting.
Well, it is done, sir. Once again, I thank you.
Sebastian bows deeply.
Chief, you better not get in my way. I might start seeing you as competition.
By that? Like either of you stand a chance with any sane chit?
Sane? Who said anything about that? We're all bommies here.
You perv.
What's wrong? Not an improvement?
Hey, polish a turd.
Anna locks your eyes with a wicked glare that has a little more edge to it than you'd expected.
Why don't you have a look for yourself, Cutter?
Sebastian rummages in his tent and pulls out an ornate hand mirror. And it occurs to you that you've never actually looked at your own appearance. You've caught glimpses of your reflection in a window, perhaps, but never thought much about it. You've had awareness of what you might look like, as though ingrained over your countless lives, and are well aware of the reaction your scarred features elicit. But now, as Sebastian holds the mirror before you, you see yourself clearly for the first time. And as you behold the dark pupils staring back at you, you start to feel dizzy, and the world around you fades. And you find yourself in a darkened street somewhere within Sigil. Your heart is pounding, trying to break free from your chest. Your breath comes in ragged gasps. You've been running for hours, it seems, and yet you cannot stop, your feet hammering upon the rain-slicked cobbles. You turn a corner and enter an alley, and suddenly your tread gives way. You slide, crashing to the ground, your forearms buried in cold, damp mud. You desperately want to rest, to give in, and cool your brow in the puddle beneath. You stare down and see your reflection rippling in the murky water. Your face softer than you'd expected, less worn with care. You become aware of something hard pressed into the palm of your hand. Glancing down, you open your clenched fist and stare at the gem embedded into the flesh. The memory fades, and your normal vision returns. Not as bad as I thought. Indeed, the visage before you, though creased with insurmountable worry and pain, could be called handsome by some. Characterful and distinguished, at least. And while there is still a faint crisscross of scars that wrap over your skin, they are faded somewhat, even the ones on your chest. Though some of the more horrible gashes remain.
Good as new, eh? Well, let's not take it too far.
Right. Well, thank you. You are a master of the esoteric.
Indeed!
Why set up here? Why choose the lower ward?
Well, a basher can't be choosy. Not everywhere will let any ruffian or scoundrel ply their trade on the streets. But it's not the Hive. Besides, my expertise is perhaps a little unsettling to the likes of the ladies or the market wards.
He dramatically puffs on his pipe and blows smoke down his nostrils with a grin.
The lower ward suits me just fine.
Why is that?
Well, a combination of things. The industrious nature of the common folk here, alongside the higher currents of portals, particularly those to the lower planes, can be convenient at times.
That really true about the portals?
Yes. A long time ago, this was known as the Prime Ward. People new to the city were placed here and not allowed access to all of Sigil. There were many other restrictions placed upon them as well. Sunburk apparently took offense to that and decided to form a rebellion. It went nowhere, of course, until he made a fascinating discovery.
Go on.
You see, there really are a lot of portals in this area, and most of them do indeed open onto the lower planes. Well, that balmy Burke found a way to open all of them at once. He allowed anything that wanted to come through to enter the city. It became quite bloody. A terrible war ensued.
Sebastian, how did this person open all the gates?
He used an item that he either had commissioned or made himself. What was it called? Yes. The shadow-sorcelled key.
At the mention of this key, again, you begin to feel dizzy. The world around you fades, and everything turns grey. You are back in the alley from your memory, staring down at the gleaming gem buried in your palm. Your eyes close, and you force yourself to take slow, deep breaths. Just as you feel your strength returning, you hear a faint noise and instantly snap to full awareness. You turn to look toward the alley mouth. At first, you see nothing, just ghost visions caused by the shadows of the night. You are about to turn away when a slight movement catches your eye. Slowly, a female form glides around the corner, pauses, and then turns to face you. Your eyes travel from the gap beneath the hem of her dress, up the length of her body, and then to her blade-enshrouded face. Even in the dim light, you can see her cold, emotionless eyes.
Is he all right? Carter? Well, I thought we'd lost you again for a moment there.
I'm fine. What became of this shadow-sorcelled key?
No one knows. The key has been lost for some time now. Many believe the Lady of Pain took the key to prevent it ever being used again.
So, what was the outcome of the rebellion?
Well, everyone, except the leader, was given pages in the dead book. The leader and the creatures just up and vanished one day. Surely the lady's work. The survivors fled the ward. The fumes of the lower planes had polluted the air, you see. Anyway, the ward remained deserted until the foundry was eventually built. What has you so fascinated by all this anyway?
Let's just call it a fascination with the esoteric.
Yes. Well, no judgment from me.
I thought it was Ravel, the night hag, who tried to open Sigil. Was that the same incident?
Ravel? You weren't kidding about fascination. Yes, some say Ravel did indeed try to crack the cage, so to speak. But whether or not it was meant to be the same incident is unclear, and many contend the existence of the legendary night hag outright. You must understand, all this has happened over many stretches of the lifetimes of immortals, even. Nothing is known for certain.
I see.
If you want to know more about Ravel and the tales about her, you might want to head to the Civic Fest Hall in the Clerks Ward. What stories I have heard mostly come from the sensates there.
How do I get there? He looks at you mischievously.
Well, if walking is too much of a bother...
Sebastian's knowledge of the ins and outs of the lower ward very much proves its worth. Rather than having to march your way miles around the ring of the city through the hive, as parting thanks for resolving his devil problem, he shows you a lesser-known portal gate that jumps from just outside the open-air market directly to a busy square in the Clerks Ward. In just a few moments, you are transported from the industrial clamor of the streets outside the Foundry gates to what appears to be a bustling city plaza at the height of its late-morning surge. Dozens of cafes and small bars skirt the open space, and the acrid smoke and fumes that you had become accustomed to are replaced by the smells of coffee, tobacco, and perfume. It's hard to imagine a more contrasting example of Sigil's opposing cultures, and suddenly you feel very out of place. Where there was a constant rumble of cartwheels and banging boxes, you now hear the reserved giggles of cafe patrons and the casual melody of a street performer. Clinking tableware has taken over from the clang of hammers, and the soot-stained attire of the lower ward's workforce has been swapped for fine-cut suits and the stylish yet tasteful gowns of the self-acclaimed social elite.
This ward's usually just home to a bunch of scribes, but this section's got the Festal in it, so it's a little more lively.
Oh, what a cute little Mima!
Sauntering over with a grin on her face, one of the bystanders begins marveling at your floating companion. She is dressed in formal yet well-worn and slightly wrinkled office garb, and wields her wineglass and half-empty carafe expertly in a single hand.
Why, hello, lovely.
And his voice! Oh, what a charming little being you have.
Isn't he? He likes to have the top of his skull scratched.
Truly?
She remains smiling, but looks suspicious.
Oh, surely you jest, sir. 'Tis only a Mima.
What do you mean?
You're serious. They're merely objects.
Well, you see, Chief, it's all about the differences in the quality of your Mima. Some, like me, are more enchanted than others, that's all. More self-aware, that's the term.
The woman shrugs.
Well, that certainly could be, I suppose. Quite the personality.
Her eyes drift over the tattoos on your arms and chest.
So, what brings you to the area? I don't often see the likes of you amongst this crowd.
I'm looking for information on someone.
Oh, well, perhaps I might know this someone. Why don't you ask me?
Powers?
Sure. What do you know of Ravel Puzzlewell?
Is she a character in a book? I think that sounds familiar. The villain in a novel, no? Oh, I don't recall.
Right. So, what is it you do here? She looks at you as if you were joking, and then realizing you're not, gives an embarrassed laugh.
Well, 'tis the Clerks Ward you are in, sir.
Sure. Sorry. I've just got here. It's all a bit new.
Clearly. Well, I'm a clerk, like most here. My duties keep me confined to the record halls. Not today, though. I am celebrating.
Duties?
My duties, sir. Work? To my employer?
I see. Well, I'll leave you to it then. Farewell.
Oh. Okay. Farewell, I guess. What in the seven hells of holy heaven was that?
What?
I admit, quill pushers are not my type. I never thought I'd see it, but that person was showing you a glimpse of what a normal conversation might be like. And you say, I'll leave you to it then. Farewell. You bar me?
What? I don't want to make small talk.
Just try and be polite and stay out of any fights for 1 minute. I'm gonna go work the crowd. More money in a single pocket here than the entire hive.
Attempting to settle in, you take a seat at one of the bars and are handed a drinks list that has very few words on it that you actually recognize. The impassive barman awaits your order patiently. I'll have the lawbender.
Very good, sir.
After a few moments, a glass full of ice is placed in front of you, and a rich blue liquid is poured within, creating an aromatic fume. Thank you.
Not quite done yet, sir.
The barman then takes a small bottle and dashes over some other liquid on top, which, to any observer's delight, gradually changes the color from a blue to a bright pink as it settles down to the base. The taste is delicate, but very refreshing, slightly herbal with just a hint of acidity.
All to your satisfaction, sir.
Yes, very good, thank you.
Not at all. That'll be 4 gold.
Gold, did you say?
Yes. Would you prefer to start a tab?
No, I'll settle up right away.
Oh, please. And that's why the Apparel Regulation Act is of the utmost importance.
Yes, Lady Diligence.
Keep such ruffians of the likes away from here.
Of course.
You look across the bar, and sipping at some small, layered, multicolored drink is an older, stern-looking woman in an exceptionally fine and, importantly, expensive-looking dress. A fully armored and very uncomfortable-looking giant of a man stands behind her.
I'm just trying to enjoy my drink. I'll trust that you enjoy yours.
She studies you with a disapproving, tight-lipped frown.
Would you like me to remove him, Lady Diligence?
No, thank you, matter of course. I can handle this one just fine.
The lady simply stares at you, a faintly disgusted look upon her face.
There's something troubling about my appearance, ma'am. I should most certainly think so. Should the Apparel Regulation Act be passed, people of your sort won't be permitted to traipse about in such a manner, half naked and filthy as you are.
This look is all the rage in the hive, you know. Perhaps you should try it. It just might suit you. A slight hint of a smile twitches in her lips before her eyes narrow even further.
Do not jest with me, sir. I have no patience for it. Now, what is it you want of me?
You're quick to judge one by their appearance, aren't you?
You would tell me then that you are not a wanderer, meandering about the city, asking questions of all those you come across, engaging in more than the occasional combat to the death with those who cross you.
No, I wouldn't tell you that. All that aside, madam, I'm quite clean, and, meaning no disrespect, some cultures might find your clothes offensive. She examines you skeptically for a moment, then nods.
Your point is well taken, sir. Still, though, you cannot deny you are a rather rough-looking sort of fellow.
My appearance is merely a product of my environment, madam, and a difficult life. I shouldn't be held accountable for that.
Oh, but you should. How easy it is for one to blame one's life, one's surroundings, for their every failing. I can see by your manner you are well educated, sir. Yet you appear to insist upon a lifestyle of wandering and senseless violence. Why not settle in Sigil? Become a contributing citizen, rather than some bloody-handed nomad in its streets.
The choice is out of my hands, I assure you.
Oh? How so?
Her coldness melts away into a look of curiosity. It is difficult to explain.
Well, nonetheless, I would bid you to do so, sir.
Feeling somewhat compelled to dispel this lady's prejudice, you do tell her your story, or what you know of it. And by the end, Lady Diligence looks shocked.
That is quite a tale, sir.
Were it only a tale, madam. It is my life, and I've the scars to prove it, as you noted when we first met, I believe.
Yes, quite so.
She smiles warmly. You'd begun to wonder if she was even capable of such a thing.
Barkip, put his drink on my tab. I wish you luck, sir, in your undertakings. Welcome to the Clerks Ward. May you find yourself once more.
Farewell, then, Lady Diligence. Adjusting to the wholly new experience found in the Clerks Ward, you begin to relax a bit. However different you might feel and look to the students and scholars and bureaucratic workforce, all are very much the same, just wanting to enjoy a few moments of peace and leisure before returning to whatever Sigil may have in store for them next. You stroll further down the plaza and find Anna, looking rather bored, engaged in a very much one-sided conversation with a slightly portly gnomish gentleman.
Thus, a rotating schedule system could be implemented in order to...
His clothing and accessories are extremely clean, neat, and well cared for, and a symbol resembling a stylized dagger piercing upwards through a flame is embroidered upon his tunic. Anna gives you a curt smile as you approach, and rolls her eyes as the man continues lecturing her on some intricacy of the workplace
Where
environment.
they'd come from. Dear, you haven't said a word. But let me just explain.
Greetings! The man's eyes pass over you, but then suddenly gleam as they fix on Mort, causing him to cease his verbal essay.
Oh, I say, would you look at that? A floating skull.
What? Where? Where?
By the unjust laws of tyranny the merciless.
He suddenly covers his mouth and looks at Anna apologetically.
Who?
Sorry. The man was a horrible tyrant, now long dead. His name should never be spoken so. 'Tis rather vulgar. My deepest apologies, milady. I did not mean to offend.
Talk as you like. I care not a whit for what you say unless you're rattling your bone box about me, that is.
He turns back to Mort.
But behold, a skull, buoyant, levitating off the ground, cognitive of its environment, and possessing hearing, speaking, and seeing capabilities.
He actually...
He turns to you as if you were suddenly a confidant.
This is truly one of the reasons that the plains shall never become dull to me, sir. Just when you think you have seen everything, the plains show you yet another corner to peer around, and
He raises his hands gloriously.
suddenly whole new, wondrous vistas are open to you.
I'm not sure if Mort qualifies as a wondrous vista. Hey!
The man ignores you, looking to Mort instead.
I say, skull?
Look! Behind you! Another floating skull!
No! Where? Where?
Right where I'm pointing! There!
Pointing? Where? I cannot see it.
Ah, you just missed it. A whole parade of them. Probably never happen again in a million revolutions of the Great Ring.
I sense you also possess a peculiar degree of mockery.
I prefer to call it a keen insight into human nature. All right. Greetings, sir.
He seems to finally see you for the first time, and his eyes widen.
By the unjust laws of tyranny,
He catches himself, again looking apologetic.
I say, are you all right? You look hurt.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Hey, it hurts to look at him, it does. Very amusing, Anna. Why don't you introduce me to your friend here? What? No?
Of course. Apologies, the deepest. Why, my name is Abel Ponderthought.
Well, Abel.
Abel Ponderthought.
Abel ponder thought. What was it that you were just talking about?
I was just speaking with this Amy about my new office. You see, I passed my administrator exam just recently and have achieved the status of an A9. A research consultant in the Hall of Records, one of the many aides specializing in Sigil's physical laws and history. I research topics and laws of interest to others. It is quite fascinating, really.
That does sound fascinating. Right, Amy? Anna shoots you a glare, but can clearly barely contain her grin.
Well, I am glad you think so. You see...
You must know a lot about Sigil.
I would say I do.
Perhaps I could ask you some questions.
Oh, certainly. Information is born to be shared, not coveted like some would choose for it. Ask, sir, ask.
I'm looking for information about a night hag. Have you heard the name Ravel Puzzlewell?
Have I? Ravel, if she truly existed, and there is little to prove that she did, was a night hag, yes. One of the inhabitants of the Grey Waste, one of the lower planes, and believed by some to be the worst of the lower planes. As the legend goes, Ravel was mazed several centuries ago. She was believed of being a mistress of many strange magics, and apparently her presence in Sigil constituted a threat to the lady. I am afraid that I know little about her.
Mazed?
The mazers. These are creations by the lady. You see, she takes a small piece of sigil, copies it, then uses a portal to place the copied bit into the deep ethereal. Once there, the piece of sigil then becomes a demiplane, an endless maze that curls and twists about itself. The lady uses these mazes to imprison anyone who threatens her power. Once she has determined that you are to be imprisoned, there is no escaping them. There is believed to be a way out of each maze, but it is most likely extremely difficult.
Right.
As I said, I know little about her, Ravel, but I could do some research.
Sure.
Yes, I shall look into it. I should have the information in less than a day from now.
Thanks. Can I ask you to look into something else?
I can most certainly try, sir. What is it you seek to know of?
I'm looking for information on any deceased person who matches my description. He seems puzzled.
An odd request, sir? Such a person, or people, would have to have been noteworthy figures for my work to turn up anything of interest. Are you investigating an ancestor of yours, or...?
Something like that. Can you check?
Yes, of course.
My thanks. I do have some questions about this place.
I'll admit I know little of this part of the Clerks Ward, sir, but please, ask.
Why is it called the Clerks Ward?
It is a seat of much of Sigil's record halls and administration. The staff at these places give the ward its name. Many clerks, scribes, priests, bureaucrats, and administration officials live in this ward.
But you say you know little of this area.
Yes. Well, this particular area, it's more of an entertainment locale. The Civic Fest Hall, home of the Society of Sensation, art galleries, and the brothel, sir, of slating intellectual lusts.
The brothel? He nods, looking somewhat embarrassed.
Yes, well, I have been there on occasion, for the conversation.
He glances at Anna, then flushes an even deeper red. She, of course, looks unperturbed.
It is a large, round building in the centre of this part of the ward. Of course, a focal point for those of the sensates who seek to understand the multiverse through experience.
The sensates, they're a faction, right?
Oh, yes, one of the more prominent ones. Their search for answers through taste, touch, and emotional ardour appeals to many. But I would rather ask real questions, like, what is outside of Sigil?
What is outside of Sigil?
No one knows. And it is not from want of trying. At the places where no true wall exists are solid walls of buildings with no windows that look beyond. Some claim to have climbed roofs and seen the outside of Sigil, but they can only describe the outside as nothing. That is an unacceptable explanation, but it still remains a mystery. It is rumoured, without fact, that to step beyond Sigil's walls takes the traveller to a random plane, but this has not been confirmed. The Fraternity of Order has mounted many expeditions, and we have yet to retrieve concrete information.
The Fraternity of Order?
My faction, to whom I belong and owe my knowledge. The Fraternity of Order believes that the multiverse...
Abel Ponderthought continues to talk like this for some time, covering an array of topics, including the light cycles of Sigil, details and histories of various faction leaders, observed days of note that he hopes to form into something called a calendar, and the ever-growing question of where does all the Razorvine come from? It isn't a wholly unentertaining experience, and he really does seem to have a passion for the sharing of information.
From whence few ever escape. 7. She does not like to be worshipped. Those that do are often found with their skin missing. And lastly, 8. The sight of her is believed to drive others mad.
The sight of her drives people mad?
Yes.
He ponders it for a moment.
But I must add the caveat that I have never seen her, you understand?
I do. That was exceptionally informative. Thank you.
Of course. I am always most happy to answer what questions I can, young sir.
I think I've learned everything I can handle right now.
I understand. Knowledge, like nature's drug, imparts dizzying highs, but must come with the fall.
Right. I should probably be going.
I bid you a good afternoon, and till the next time. When I shall return on your research. Farewell.
Farewell, Abel Ponderthought.
Thanks for rescuing me, I suppose. Yeah, I kind of liked him. Aye, gosh, you did. The man who asks all the questions meets the man with all the answers. Match made in Bitopia.
All right, well, why were you speaking to him in the first place?
Why'd you think?
You robbed him while we were talking, didn't you?
Tried to. So it's got nothing on him.
Whatever. Amongst this sea of well-dressed and rather well-fed citizens, there is one in particular who stands out amongst this crowd. An exceptionally tall woman with elongated ears and elegant but wholly unfamiliar features stands by one of the cafes. She is sipping from a small ceramic wine cup and anxiously scans the crowd around her as though looking or perhaps waiting for someone.
Wow. Stop, you drooling, you leering skull. You know, Anna, if you're jealous, just say so. I could drool over you too. Get a hair's breadth closer, skull, and I'll see to it that not one of your chattering teeth lies within 100 pieces of another.
Greetings! The woman turns to face you, her violet eyes flashing like chips of amethyst. Her speech is odd, musical almost. You can hear a faint tinkling like tiny crystal bells as she speaks, each word lingering in your ears as if they came from your very own thoughts.
Namel turned to face the scarred dour stranger. She asked what he wished of her.
Namel, you're... Unbelievably, this is the person that Glyve from the Weeping Stone Catacombs said could unlock the powers of the decanter of endless water that you had found there. As it happens, I was told to find you.
Namel was surprised by the chance encounter. What could the stranger want with her here in the Clerks Ward? She searched his eyes warily.
There is something deeply unsettling about the way she looks at you, instigating a fear or shame, perhaps. Apologies. I was told that you'd know the word to unlock this. Namel makes no move to touch or examine the decanter you hold before her, but only speaks.
Namel took it from the stranger, turning it in her hands. Had she seen its like before, she thought? Perhaps. Yes, she remembered. She returned the decanter, whispering into his ear as she did so.
You realize you know the word now.
Nilden Osage.
Though you're certain the woman never whispered to you, but merely said she did. She blinks at you and smiles slightly.
Would the stranger leave her now, satisfied with what she had told him?
Just a moment. Are you looking for someone?
Where could she be? Namel wondered. Her companion, Elwyn, was supposed to have met her here days ago.
Namel sighs miserably. The air around her grows chill with her sadness.
How long must she search this vast, foreign city before she finds her dearest friend?
I could help you find your friend. What does she look like? She clasps her hands together and bows her head to you.
She would be so pleased to hear news of her friend. She told the kind stranger what Elwyn looked like, so that he would know her should he come across her.
An image forms in your mind. A woman who resembles Namel in stature, but with golden eyes and hair of fiery crimson. I'll return if I find her. Farewell.
The two of you, you're just the same.
What? Me and Mort? What do you mean?
Hey, you don't have to sound too upset, Chief. It's all it takes, innit? Some lofty chit with the jewel-like eyes and you'll go stomping about the spire running errands.
Anna, it's not like that. She was... I don't know. There was something about her. I had to help.
Aye, she bewitched you and had no hard time of it the way you were gawping. Whatever, do as you like. Though perhaps you can help me for a change.
Well, what do you need?
You see that group over there?
She points to a gathering of slightly bemused-looking clerks huddled around some kind of street performer.
Strike up a conversation or something. Ask your questions. I'm gonna go bob him, and I need a distraction.
All right. Just be careful. We're pretty much in the open here.
Oh, well, don't you worry about me.
The artist at the center of this gaggle is dressed in a skin-tight suit made of some kind of shimmering fabric. Their face is painted with heavy makeup. A pair of arched eyebrows has been penciled onto their brow, and red powder has been used to make small circles on their cheeks and accentuate their lips. As you approach, you can see that their mouth is moving as they beckon you closer, but no sound is being made.
What? I can't hear you.
The artist hangs their head, pantomiming a sigh, and then shrugs. They then mime picking up a rope, you think, before making to lasso it over your head. You feel nothing, of course, but as you step and reach out to them, your hand is stayed by some unseen force. The performance artist appears to actually be trapped in a kind of invisible box or cage. Suddenly, they make a mock sad face and press their palms against the unseen barrier, leaning up to you.
What in the hell's happened here?
Odd, no?
I've never seen anything quite like it. I find this act quite annoying, yet oddly interesting at the same time.
One of the surrounding voyeurs takes this opportunity to critique the artist's performance.
What's going on? I'm not certain I understand it, to be honest. Something to do with the futility of action in the endless grind of the multiverse?
This entertainer's act normally involves all sorts of impersonations and physical comedy. It was quite charming. I've seen them before.
Another critic chimes in, and you notice Anna circling behind, giving you a barely perceptible nod.
Earlier, a passing mage walked by, and the artist mimicked his unusual gait. The mage, angered, cursed the poor fellow.
Anna delicately brushes past the speaker, and you see her completely soften her body language from the stalking predator that she'd often present to something far more congenial. The clerk almost begins to lean in, as though they were both now close friends.
I think they can no longer speak and are trapped in the same invisible box that earlier they pretended to be confined within.
Anna gently touches the woman's arm with a sympathetic gentleness, but you notice the gilded bracelet slip from her mark's wrist, which she covers with a feigned concern.
Quite panicked at first, it seemed, but have calmed themselves now and continue with this act newly defined.
A bit too ironic for me. On the nose, no?
Just a bit.
I pity him, though his fate may be well deserved.
How long, I wonder, shall be trapped?
Jackpot?
Not bad, I have to admit.
Oh, you think you could do better?
Probably not. But I think you could.
Oh? And are you gonna teach me?
There's one or two things I might know that you don't.
What? Are you serious?
She raises an eyebrow.
Oh, you're saying you know everything.
All right. What are these shadowy secrets that I don't know then?
Well, what you just did there was cute, but would that have worked on the guy standing next to her? He looked like he had a lot of coin. Why didn't you go for him?
Stuck up? Too guarded?
Oh, and you think there's no way you could have distracted him?
What are you saying?
Well, you add a few more slashes to the front of that vest, and no one's gonna care if you're picking their pockets or not.
Anna blinks, shocked.
Are you saying you think I play the harlot?
Well, why the hell else are you wearing that thing?
I just get hot. I do. It's my blood, I think. This vest lets my skin breathe.
I'm sorry. I thought that's what you were going for.
You Burke.
Anna freezes stock still, and tears start to form in her eyes.
No. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that to...
Please, don't be upset.
I can't help it. It's your fault.
Anna squeezes her eyes closed.
You should have said anything about the vest. Now I'm all thinking about it, I am.
You place your hands on her shoulders and square her to face you.
Look me in the eye. Now it's okay. Forget I even mentioned it.
Anna's gaze locks with yours. She's still stiff, shaking slightly, and she's biting her lip. Then suddenly, she pushes herself into you, and her hands wrap around your back, closing you into a long, tight embrace.
I'm sorry, Anna.
She tilts back, looking you in the eye, then slowly leans in, sniffing slightly around your neck, then up along your cheekbone.
I like the way you smell. I do.
She rubs her cheek against yours, and to your surprise, you can feel how smooth her skin is. Your skin's like leather, it is. Then, just as you start to sink into the embrace, she pushes away.
Anna, I.
Check your purse.
What?
You reach down and grab Anna's tail as it slowly unwinds from your pack. Anna steps back and she gives a wicked grin.
Is that what you meant? Making a purse of a mark like that, eh?
She seems a little flushed, and you notice her heart is beating fast. But if you're honest, so is yours.
Dead easy, it is.
So it is.
Now, yous run along. I still got work to do.
Off the main plaza, you see a curious-looking building. Its roof rises up and domes over like the shell of a snail or some gargantuan crustacean. You half expect it to sprout enormous legs and start scuttling away. This is somewhat enhanced by the fact that the only way to enter appears to be by climbing a temporary wooden structure that rises like scaffolding to a strange fluted doorframe.
Patrons? Hurry up a bit, Standish. I cannot bear to see so lazy a servant.
Yes, Mistress Vrishika.
Inside, there is a strong, musty smell, partially masked by a combination of heavily scented oils and some kind of cleaning fluid. Polished tiles line the floor, and great display cases stretch from wall to wall. Shelves full of mugs, plates, books, decanters, candle holders, and other bric-a-brac rise up to the ceiling. Most items are made of strange metals or minerals, and many of the books appear to be bound in the hides of creatures you could not hope to name. Amongst the oddities, a few more prominent artifacts are identified by small bronze plaques. One appears to be an alarmingly fresh-looking heart lying in a bowl of fine, chalky powder. The label beneath says, "The Heart of the Fosterer." As you peruse through an empty bookcase apparently housing a set of invisible books, an exhausted, sallow-faced man shuffles towards you.
If you need anything, just say. Mistress Vrishika will be along soon to inform you on any of the items.
Sure. Thanks. You reach out towards a display of 3 floating orbs which resemble large colored pearls. They give off a faint warmth and begin to tremble slightly at your touch. Then, much to your alarm, start emitting a high-pitched squeal.
And please be careful. If anything were to break, it would be very, very bad.
Sorry. What are these? You point to a set of unusual forge tools that look to be made of carved bone. This Standish carefully lifts a set of tongs and places them in your hand. Whatever they are made of, it is far heavier than iron.
Standish! Break that and I'll be selling your tanned hide!
Yes, Mistress Vrishika. I'll leave you to look at your leisure.
You move along the bench of goods and see a set of several very large teeth. A dozen smaller ones lie stacked on a shelf above them.
Hey, Mort. Fancy trying on these? Chief, careful, or my current teeth might hear you. Sorry.
Well, well. A floating, disembodied, prevaricating skull.
The scent of rosewater, underlined with a tang of copper, wafts in your direction as this Mistress Vrishika approaches. Her deep blue skin and bright yellow eyes gives her a somewhat dramatic appearance. But those are far outshone by the pair of bat-like wings that unfold from her back, mimicking the flare of her lips as she grins at you.
And you, You're the scarred man who's been going around asking all the questions.
She looks you up and down.
Oh, you sure look lost. Did you want to come in, really? Or are you just casing the place because you have nothing better to do? Because Vrishika can help you.
How can you help me?
I travel and trade extensively. I hear a great deal. I purchase a great deal. And I own a great deal. Perhaps I can make you a great deal. Is there anything that you desire?
Perhaps the answers to a few questions.
I'll entertain any queries on the merchandise. But I'm not going to be drawn into one of your famous 20 questions about anything around the Spire routines. Understood?
Right. What did you mean by calling more prevaricating?
Prevaricating, misrepresenting, perjuring, dissimulating, lying. Oh, did I say that? I'd meant a floating, disembodied, pontificating skull. As in dogmatic, always stating an opinion in a self-important manner. Don't forget to dust those, Standish!
Yes, Mistress Vrishika.
Does that answer your question?
Vrishika smiles innocently. What are you, Vrishika?
An Alu fiend. A half-demon. My mother was Tanari, and my father a great king of mortals. Such a rude question. But then, you're rather rude-looking yourself, aren't you?
My apologies. I did not mean to offend.
Then I ask that you keep your questions related to the shop and its merchandise.
Well, tell me about this place then.
What you see here is the result of much trading and traveling across the plains.
She makes a sweeping gesture across all the shelves and displays.
Weapons, charms, and other specialty items are for sale here as well. Everything that is rare and oh so exquisite fills this emporium. Your needs, I sate them.
All right. Show me your merchandise.
Look around at your will. Let your heart show you what you desire. I'll follow.
Not knowing exactly where to start, you begin circling a wide bench that fills the center of the shop, and see, amongst some cups and plates, a plain-looking jug. Despite its common appearance, you feel reluctant to touch the thing, as if it might bite you. Vrishika watches you, chuckling, then shrugs.
It's a jug. It's got some sort of monster trapped in it. That's why your hair is prickling up like that. I'm sure an adventurer like you could find some use in it. Or if crockery is what you're after.
She holds up a large pewter stein covered in carved runes.
An ale mug of unusual manufacture, which keeps its contents, usually beer of course, icy cool, whatever the surrounding temperature. 12 gold, and you'll enjoy the frostiest ale you've had outside of the paraplane of ice.
I'll keep looking. On a pedestal to the side of the shop, you examine a stained ground glass lens the width of your hand, held in a brushed steel ring. A small geared protrusion coming off it makes it look as if the lens should attach to a clockwork machine. It smells faintly of horrible perfume.
I've no idea really what this is, but it radiates fairly powerful magic. An old soldier named Gisis brought it up to me from a lower plane battlefield. He'd murdered his own men in order to escape his tour of duty there, and brought me a number of interesting items he'd collected over the course of the campaign. I've kept it mostly as a conversation piece.
You wander over to a shelf filled with various bottles and ointments, and see one labeled as Gorgon salve.
I traded this with some sword-slinging prime worlder. Perseus, I think his name was. Smeared onto the surface of any being turned to stone, it will revert them to flesh. 8 silver. A bargain, considering how handy it might come in should you ever find a friend of yours transmuted to rock.
Man. Elixir of horrific separation.
Oh, this stuff was compounded by a scholar who'd found she'd been possessed by a darker side of herself, which took control at times and bade her do awful things. This potion was to have split the darker half away from her, creating 2 separate beings. Mercy killers, however, found and executed her for a string of depraved murders before she could use it.
Interesting. Baby oil.
Yes, it's the real thing, of course. Thousands of mewling, mortal babies went into the making of the stuff.
No, thanks. Let me look around a little longer.
Certainly.
What are these ashes in this bowl?
These are all that remains of a school of illusionists called the Pabulum. According to their expedition logs, they traveled to the Plain of Shale in search of the lost works of the Fosterer, a powerful sorcerer who once ruled an empire where the Plain of Shale now lies. The naive illusionists were successful, and they stumbled across one of his lost works, a hive of vicious creatures called the Trellons. The remains of the mages were found days later by 2 warrior scouts and were burned over a pyre as a symbol of their folly.
Trellons.
Yes, nasty creatures. They seem to bear an insane hatred for mages, but the reason for this is unknown. To unlock the power of these ashes, one only needs to stir them with the index finger of the left hand, then sprinkle a pinch of the ashes into the air in a circular pattern. The smell of the remains of these dead mages is said to cause a Trellon to appear and serve the user.
There are an overwhelming number of things that interest you here. A large mallet called the Hammer of Comminution, used extensively by Inote, a Doomguard philosopher prone to violent mood swings while debating theology. A twisted wire bracelet covered in razor-sharp spines that apparently inject rare reagents into the bloodstream of its wearer, giving them a constant rush of adrenaline. And one of the fabled tears of Saliero Day, the martyred Harmonium officer who was put to death on their own faction's home plane of Ortho for being mistaken as a member of the Revolutionary League. Not all are quite as grand and storied, though. Heaped among a basket of scarves and various swatches of fabric, you find a small tattered rag doll that is obviously intended to be a replica of the Lady of Pain.
This was found in a well-trapped strongbox sunk deep beneath the surface of Sigil. It was part of a small hoard of treasure and forbidden magical texts, though I don't know what it's for. If you like it, it's only 99 copper coins.
I'll take it.
Yes, a wise choice.
Alongside this doll, you also acquire a number of curious charms, and one other artifact that catches your eye. A strange metallic figurine with 2 arms, 2 legs, and 2 folding wings. A collector's item, perhaps. Your fiendish shopkeep was uncertain on the details, but whatever it is, it didn't come cheap. The coins you pour into Vrishika's hand seem to disappear the moment they touch her palm.
Please enjoy your newest acquisition. Anything else?
Not right now, but I'll be back.
I'm certain of it.
Outside the shop, down a narrow alleyway, you see Anna squaring off against 4 young local thugs. While certainly well-armed and muscular enough to be dangerous, they do look awfully clean and well-dressed for your typical street tough. Though, despite their fairer attire, tensions seem quite high, and the largest of the 3 looms over Anna with a furious look on his face. He is wielding an exceptionally large axe in one hand, and the other is wrapped around a sturdy metal case.
I mean it. If you don't clear off that patch, we will remove you, forcibly. Now pike off quick if you know it's good for you. Your patch? Would like you have any sway around this case? You couldn't peel a ring, give her your wee coney. Don't push me, tiefling.
Hey, what's going on?
None of your business, sod. Pike off before I have to scrag you. Scrag? What in the 9 layers of bait are you talking about, you idiot? Scrag's nagged, nipped, yanked by the hardhead, you clueless addle-coved bird.
He glares daggers at Anna, his face turning beet red.
Stop shaking your bone box, leatherhead. This is my territory, and you'll be leaving it if you don't want my bloods to tear you apart.
Anna snickers, shaking her head.
Rattle, you sod. Rattling your bone box it is. Oh, I'd so like to see how long you'd last, drop smack in the middle of the hive, acting as you are.
Anna turns to you.
Come on, let's be off. No use wasting our time with this wee-stemmed basher would-be. That's it! You piking asked for it! Get him, bloods!
He raises his axe and leaps to attack, swinging for Anna's neck. She ducks and rolls out of the way, dodging clear of the strike. The 3 lackeys behind, though, scramble to grab her, and she is quickly overwhelmed. As their leader recovers from his overswing, you step forward, gathering the magic within your blood. The shadows deepen in the alley about you, growing in length, stretching towards the group like writhing branches briared with thorns. Dark veins spread down your arms, and the skin tightens about your face. You see the horror in their eyes as all 4 drop their weapons immediately, releasing Anna and whimpering as they flee.
Are you all right?
Old Ward, also known as Wanker City. Aye, I'm fine. I would have liked to shove my dags up in that Burke. But I suppose them soiling the britches will have to do. Thank you.
No problem.
Ho there! Ahoy! Is someone still there by chance?
You hear a voice, small and slightly distant, as though calling through from behind a door or wall. And looking about, you see that left behind from the thug's escape is the large steel box.
My name's Martin. Hail? Anyone?
Yeah, hi. Are you... Where are you?
Oh, thank the powers. Oh, I'm here, in this box.
Right.
This sturdy steel box has a leather handle on top, but there's no apparent way to open the thing. It appears to be welded shut. There are a number of very narrow slits along one side, and a sickly sweet rotting smell wafts out from within. The box shifts slightly in your hands as you pick it up.
Greetings.
Yes. Greetings.
Have you seen my body, perchance? It's hard to miss him. Stumbles about with a silly wooden head on his shoulders. He must have worn his feet down to stubs looking for me by now.
No, I don't think so.
Oh dear. Oh well, that would have been a bit too much to hope for, eh?
Maybe. Are you okay in there?
Oh yes, just fine. Well, not ideal to be without my body, I will say. Yeah, in any case, it's probably shambling about the Civic Fest Hall. Could I, by any chance, persuade you to take me there, good sir?
Sure. I can do that for you.
Oh, how splendid. Well, thank you kindly then, sir.
I do have some questions.
I'm sure you do, sir, coming across a severed speaking head locked in an iron case.
Yeah, that is what I wanted to ask about.
Oh, it's been quite an ordeal, Cutter. I mean, would it be all right if we just got moving? I've a terrible ache.
A headache, right? No? Really? No one? Whatever.
You find your way back onto the large plaza in the center of this part of the ward, even busier now as the lunchtime rush fills the place. Hordes of city workers throng in the bars and cafes, supping on wine alongside their boards of cheese and baskets of fine bread. Amongst this crowd of business folk, various entrepreneurs have set up small stations to peddle their wares. Artists selling sketches and caricatures to passers-by, hawkers promoting shows in the nearby fest hall, and in some cases, the boldest among them go from table to table, offering bundles of flowers or small displays of trickery to delight.
Oh, magic! Oh, I do wish my body were here. He loves this sort of thing.
You never did tell me. How'd you end up the way you are?
I'm not sure, really. The body set me down in one of the lecture halls, and the next thing I knew, someone had absconded with me. The next thing I remember was being picked up by you.
But what I meant was, how'd you lose your head?
Oh, yeah, we don't like to talk about it. Quite horrible, really. What's past is past. No need to dredge it up. Though I will say, I'm in the box because I'm not quite as presentable as I used to be, if you get my meaning.
Come to Ellebrand and learn your fortune. Only 5 coins.
You see a hunched figure set up in one of the quieter corners of the square. She is wreathed in richly colored fabrics that look to be of quite fine quality. She examines you closely with her sharp grey eyes as you approach, first noting your face, then your arms and various tattoos.
Oh, greetings, scarred one.
Well, come to speak with Ellebrand, have you? Come to have your fortune told, mayhap, for a paltry silver coin?
Sure. Tell me my fortune.
Ellebrand places your coin in a belt pouch and takes your hand in hers. She quietly studies your palms, frowning deeply. At long last, she speaks.
What can you tell me?
I do not speak of things mundane, Scarred One. I look deep into the threads that weave about us all. But some rare folk are what's called fateless, you see. They wander through their lives doing as they see fit, creating their own destinies. You have no fortune to tell, Scarred One. None at all. I've nothing to tell you. And so, here is your coin.
She returns your silver piece.
I see.
Hold you one moment, Scarred One. Before you leave, there is something I do have for you. And not a penny it will cost you, mind.
Ellebrand reaches out, touching your arm.
My mother gave me something once, long ago. A scroll, sealed with wax. A hooded man had entrusted it to her, and said that a man such as ye would one day come and unwittingly claim it. Here, I would have you take it now.
What is it?
Ellebrand shakes her head, frowning.
I do not know. She was sworn never to read the thing, and I obeyed her request to leave the seal unbroken myself. The man had paid her handsomely to take the scroll, but warned her of the direst consequences should she open it.
She hands you an old, fading, innocuous-looking parchment scroll, bound with a single red ribbon and smelling faintly of mildew. The ribbon is held in place with a plain wax seal.
And you're sure this is for me?
Aye, quite certain.
Breaking open the seal, you see the scroll contains a few lines of shaky calligraphy and a strange rune that makes your eyes blur a little. It reads,
"This may not kill you, but it will slow you down, I am sure. Stop chasing me, you thieving bastards! It's my body! Mine! 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 Now, die!"
What the?
The rune suddenly throbs, and the entire scroll begins to dissolve into a stinking black mess. The fluid seeps directly into the flesh on your hands. In seconds, the magical hematoxin courses through your veins, rendering your blood to a black bile. For a moment, you clutch at yourself and crumple to the ground, howling in agony. And then the pain subsides. Whatever horrible magic was placed upon this scroll was not quite powerful enough to kill you, it seems.
Is he okay? Get your hands off him, you old banshee!
Hells, what?
I didn't know. I swear.
Just stay back.
Dakon helps you back onto your feet, a look of concerned panic in his eyes.
I'm all right. Dakon.
Ellebrand looks confused.
I don't know what to say to you, Scarred One.
Well, you could start by saying how exactly you came by that thing.
As I told you, it was given to me by my mother. A hooded man had given it to her some 50 years past, paying her well, but bidding her never to read it, whatever the circumstances. A user of magic she was. Powerful in the art, but frightened of this man just the same. She had said his eyes hinted at madness, and that the flesh around them was puckered and grey, like yours. I know nothing more of him.
Then that'll have to do. Farewell. Now let's move on.
Excuse me, what's going on out there? Could someone please help me up?
In your fall, Martin's steel case had tumbled from your arms and rolled face down onto the ground, presumably blocking his only source of light.
Right.
You know, I have to give you credit. I had you wrong. You'll go gallivanting for just about anyone.
Well, not just anyone, but disembodied heads are at the top of my list, so...
You know it, Chief.
All right, come on. Do keep your eyes open for a tall woman with flame red hair, though.
Oh, sure.
As it happens, as this ordeal with the scroll has gone on, a woman at one of the nearby restaurants has been staring at you. You catch her eye, but she holds your gaze, studying you closely. You can feel her stare as if it were piercing into you, and although seated, she towers above the cages around her. Her hair is a vibrant crimson, and her eyes bright gold.
Wait right here. I'll be back in a moment.
Chief?
She remains stolid as you approach, sipping her cup of wine without taking her eyes off you.
Greetings.
I, Elwyn, return your greetings.
Elwyn, I think I've been looking for you.
Her grasp tightens about her cup, and you notice her tense up as you speak.
Your friend, Namel, is waiting for you across the square.
There is a pause, and suddenly, whatever tension you had felt just a moment ago releases, and she begins to smile, but then covers her mouth with her hand and looks down at her drink.
I, Elwyn, am most pleased to hear of Namel. Might I, Elwyn, persuade you to tell her of this place?
Yes, I can do that.
She looks at you directly again for just the briefest of moments before casting her eyes back down to her drink. But for that moment, your senses are awash with a warm, comfortable feeling.
I, Elwyn, thank you.
It's my pleasure. May I ask you about her, though?
Elwyn nods slowly.
The way she speaks, and what her words do. How?
I, Elwyn, can only say that we come from another place, another world. We are not like the people here, whose words, thoughts, very feelings even, affect nothing directly.
Go on.
I, Elwyn, take great care so as to not affect those around me. Namel, she is new here and cannot do so. It is something she must learn should she choose to remain here much longer.
But why?
There are many reasons. I, Elwyn, feel it is not right to impose reality upon those without the ability to impose their own reality upon me, Elwyn.
Is there anything you cannot do by simply speaking of it?
She frowns. A strange, unpleasant feeling rises in the pit of your stomach.
Please, I, Elwyn, would speak of it no more.
Just one other question.
She looks at you directly, your face reflecting in the glittering golden discs of her eyes.
He would speak of it no more to Elwyn, and thus would no longer force her to speak in such a way to him.
You find yourself unable to voice another question, your words catching in your throat as you try to do so.
Yeah, fine. I'll be back in a moment. Farewell.
It doesn't take you long to find Namel again and escort her to the restaurant Elwyn is waiting in. And as they reunite, it feels as if the whole plaza radiates with an unbounded joy, a feeling of warmth that hangs in the air like some sweet-smelling vapor.
Namel thanked the man for his kindness, now united with her oldest friend, Elwyn. Though, she thought, now she must reward the stranger.
No, that's all right. I need no reward.
Namel touches her index finger to her lips, making a faint hushing noise.
She would draw the stranger close, laying her hand upon his chest, and kissing the pale, leathery skin of his cheek. Life would flow into him, invigorating him. This, then, was to be his reward.
As you wait, there is a light tingling sensation upon your cheek and chest. The feeling spreads across the whole of your body, and you begin to feel stronger, more animated. Namel then rejoins her friend Elwyn, and they embrace, shedding tears of joy. And just as your own eyes begin to water, overwhelmed by the emotion, Elwyn wipes away her tears and approaches you once more.
I, Elwyn, would tell you something now, stranger.
Sure.
I, Elwyn, had thought differently of you before. I, Elwyn, was wary of you.
Yeah, I noticed.
You must understand, there is reason for it.
Go on.
The name I, Elwyn, chose for you, stranger, is not so fitting. You and I, Elwyn, have met before. In the Fest Hall. In a place you could not have been, were you not a sensate yourself. Whether you recall or no, unless you betrayed the society at some point, you are a sensate.
I see. Tell me more. She nods.
You and I, Elwyn, have met on 2 different occasions. The first was no less than 2 centuries past. The last, more recently. Perhaps no more than 50 years ago.
That's quite a long time ago. She nods again.
My, Elwyn's people are extremely long-lived, forgetful one.
She sighs, and an icy chill descends over you.
You seemed a different man then. Less grim, less scarred. So eager to see all that the multiverse had to offer. You courted me, Elwyn, then, and was nearly taken as a lover. But then you disappeared.
Where did I go?
I, Elwyn, was told you had been slain. Murdered.
She looks up for a moment to peer curiously into your eyes.
I met you only once more after that.
Did I remember you then?
No.
She shakes her head sadly, then touches her throat.
No, you did not. You lashed out at me, Elwyn, made to slay me. Screamed how I, Elwyn, could not fool you, would not ensnare and murder you.
What happened?
We had met in one of the spirewood towers of the Fest Hall on the 7th floor. Before you could choke the life from me, I, Elwyn, used my powers to bade you leap from a window to your death. When I, Elwyn, finally went in search of your broken body, you had already gone.
You did what?
That is the whole of my Elwyn's tale for you. We were not strangers once, but have now become so. Farewell, kind stranger, and may fortune walk with you in your travels.
Thanks, Elwyn. Farewell. Thank you for listening to Planescape Torment, the unofficial audio series, a RevocerGM production. To support the show and those involved, please consider subscribing to our Patreon or donating via our Ko-fi page. Links to both are in the description.